Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to today's Signing Day press conference. We're here to talk about today's signing class, which features 14 players, 8 of which are from the state of South Carolina. Here to talk about that signing class is your head coach, Brent Thompson.
Thank you, John. First of all, that it is basketball season. Let me just congratulate Coach Balcom on the start to their basketball season. I had an opportunity to watch those guys play on Saturday, and what a great team we've got right now. We're very excited for him and all the hard work that he's done. So I wanted to make mention of that it is that time of year for us. It is also recruiting time. It is also early signing time. And this was a little bit of a change. It was a change in recruiting philosophy for the Citadel. Compared to where we were last year at this time, we've signed almost 12 or 13 more prospects during this time than we did last year. So we took a little bit of a different approach. And that approach, I want to really congratulate the staff. The recruiting coordinator, Coach J.P. Gunner, did a great job of organizing it. Every single one of these young men that we had been here to campus sometimes in the month of June and July. So we've got a great evaluation on them. The other thing that we've gotten on them is a great understanding of what the Citadel is all about. What everything that the Citadel that they can accomplish here, not just on the football field, but also in the classroom and also in the Corps Cadets. They've got a great understanding of how everything fits into place here. So we're excited about this class. This will not be the final signing of the year. We will have a few more signees in February. At that point, we're probably just looking for just a few key positions for us. And I'll get right to the signees from this year. As John said, we've got 8 from the state of South Carolina, which we are very excited about. I didn't think last year we had very many. We signed 1 out of the state, and I didn't think that was the way that we wanted to approach recruiting. So we did a nice job there. We've got 3 more from the state of Georgia, 2 from Texas, keeping our Texas pipeline together, and then 1 from the country of Japan, who is on a military base over there. So we're excited about him as well. First, I'll start out with Remus Bomer. He will be joining us the soonest in January. Remus is going to, he graduated early from Sam Houston State University. We had the opportunity to gain him over the course of November and December. We started to recruit him once he had gotten released from Sam Houston. What we like about Remus is he is an older guy. He's going to add a little bit of depth to our backfield. I don't know where exactly we're going to play him out, but the one thing that I do like about him is we're going to have him here for spring football. He's going to achieve his master's degree here, so he's very excited about that. He's very adamant about achieving his master's degree, so I think that's going to be a great fit for us. He's an accomplished running back at Sam Houston. We're going to use him someplace between A-back and B-back in our backfield, and he should be able to push for one of those jobs. It will probably mostly depend upon what other signees that we have in this class as to whether he plays A or B or where we think he best fits. Our next is Logan Billings, one of our South Carolina or upstate. We had a good Greenville, Spartanburg area upstate recruiting this year. We had Logan at camp this year. He is a Shrine Bowl. He is a downhill linebacker for us. He's going to be part of the class that we're going to sign, probably about 5 or 6 linebackers. And each of those linebackers brings something different to the table. Well, what I think about the linebackers are we're going to take some inside guys, we're going to take some outside guys, and then we're also going to take some guys that we're going to grow into probably defensive linemen for us. So Logan's definitely one of those inside guys for us. He's a downhill runner. I love the way he plays. Very similar to Logan is Logan Brott. Logan is a coach's son. I used to recruit Logan's dad's school. I know Coach Brott very well. He does an excellent job. Logan is already graduated from high school. He's working on his associate's degree. By the time Logan gets here, he will have his associate's degree, but he is another strong, powerful, explosive linebacker, in-the-box linebacker, will play downhill. Very, very smart football player as well as a great student. Andy Davis came here during the summertime as well. He's a 6-foot, 200-pound free safety. He is more of your run-stopping, alley-running free safety. Very smart, has great ball skills, can get downhill. He was the Defensive Player of the Year in his conference. His team was also 12-1, and they had an outstanding year this year. So we're happy to add him to our program. Terrius Straighton, in-state recruit for us. Offensive lineman, another young man, showed up unannounced to camp for us. Really kind of a little bit of an unknown. came here, and really I thought he was off the charts at camp. I watched him personally, and we had a great conversation. He can bend, he can move. The one thing that we like about Terrius is he can play every position on the offensive line. Played mostly guard there at Johns Island. We're going to try to play him at center, where he played mostly as a junior, but if he loses the weight, I think he can also play tackle as well. So very versatile offensive lineman for us, which is what we were looking for. Nick Greer out of South Gwinnett High School in Georgia. Nick is an interior three-technique defensive lineman for us. Has a great get-off, great fundamentals, plays with low pad level. You'll see him on film. He'll be able to lock out offensive linemen and make some plays in the backfield. Building him for the future Joe Randolph position. Robert Harbor was very fortunate enough to get him. We're continuing our Texas pipeline. 6 foot, 290-pound interior defensive lineman, nose guard. We're looking for him to replace or help us replace Ken Allen, who is a 4-year starter for us. He's 6 foot, 290 pounds, comes from a great program there at Foster. He is going to be an interior presence for us. You'll see him on film. He's in the backfield quite a bit, has good explosive get-off for a bigger, thicker guy. Had a great opportunity to sit down and meet with his dad and him during the month of June here on campus. Jay Kennison, believe it or not, Jay Kennison was at our camp and was one of the fastest players at our camp. He is a multi-tool player. He's played corner in the backfield. He's played safety. He could play a little bit of linebacker if he grows into it. The thing that I like about him is his versatility. He is a very great speed, side-to-side kind of guy. He's got good coverage skills. Not sure where we're going to play him in the back end yet, but I think we're going to start him at the safety spot and then determine where he goes from there. Another one of our upstate, in-state guys that we're excited about. Jay LeGrune, another in the linebacker crew. Jay came onto campus in July. He is a 6'3", 200-pound. He played a little bit of slot back, A-back for Coach Herron in the state championship team that he had, played for the state championship team that they had. Also played outside linebacker in their 3-3 stack. Played a lot as a junior year as the outside linebacker spot as well as his senior spot. Outside the box kind of a player for side to side, can cover. Really has done a good job with him and is part of a really good football team. Michael McDowell came to see us in June, another upstate Boiling Springs, another teammate player of ours, 6'1", 215. He is one of those guys that we're looking to play as a stand-up outside linebacker, hybrid defensive end, possibly get down on the ball a little bit, drop into coverage, rush off the passer. And Michael is also a Shrine Bowl player, just played last week in the Shrine Bowl. Antarius Presley, had him at camp this year, a 6 foot, 160-pound safety, more of our cover safety. And he's got great speed and athleticism. We liked the way that he was able to cover guys at camp. We liked everything that he was able to do. And had a great official visit with he and his dad and his mom, and really enjoyed getting to know him over the course of the last 4 or 5 months. Nick Rogers from Columbia, South Carolina, another of those linebacker defensive line type of players for us, 6'1", 230. Start him in a stand-up spot on the edge. He'll be able to, same thing as Michael McDowell, be able to come off the edge. We'll be able to drop into coverage for us. A nice guy that we're going to grow into a defensive lineman, outside linebacker spot. I think it's a great fit for us, and really another one that I think could be a tremendous football player here. Stephon Stokes, had him at camp this year, is a traditional guard in this offense, 6'2", 295, played in the North-South game as well as Terrius Drayton. He played for the North and Terrius played on the South side. He is a drive-blocking machine, 6'2", 295 pounds, had great feet, has great get-off, and he plays with tremendous pad level, and I think he's going to be an asset to our offensive line and replace some of the guards that we're going to graduate here in about a year or two. The most interesting added to this one right here is Hayden Williamson from Okinawa, Japan. Hayden came to visit us with his mom. His dad is a graduate of the Citadel, wanted to check us out. We had an opportunity to work him out at camp. And another one of those linebacker kind of defensive linemen for us. I think his best football is ahead. He's going to have a big upside to him. He is only 6'1", 210 pounds right now. We think we can get him, maybe possibly to be a down defensive lineman for us by the time it's all said and done. Love the way that he moved as a linebacker. I think we'll like him even more as a defensive lineman here in the future. that's my list so far. That's my list so far of signees. We'll probably have more in February, focusing a little bit more on certain positions coming up. You know, I don't think it was a change in philosophy. It was more of a change of emphasis. Now, the one thing that we wanted to do, and I think we accomplished, was get young men from in-state to travel to our camp. Come down to the Citadel, come to Charleston, see what we have. I was very disappointed, but when I looked at everything that everybody had signed in the Southern Conference and FCS level out of the state of South Carolina, it wasn't a surprise that we only signed one. However, we know that we needed to make a big push for in-state players and our type of players, just the guys that we think that fit us. And the only way to do that properly is to start early. We started in April and May, gathering those lists of names and then trying to get them to our camp, get them to visit us, get them to our junior days. And the Citadel is a place where you need to come and visit. You need to come and visit often. We will try to scare you away as often as that. And if you keep coming back, then I know that you're serious about us and we're serious about you. You know, Remus was established through Coach Gunner. Coach Gunner has got a great Houston connection just by recruiting down that way. And when we saw that he had come up on the transfer portal, and it was just one of those things where we wanted to do some investigating on him to see what kind of a person he was, what kind of a player he was. The film speaks for itself. He's a fantastic football player. He had a lot of film his junior and his sophomore year. And we saw that. We thought, here's an opportunity to get an older football player in the class for this year and also get him here. The only way that we can get a mid-semester player here is through the graduate school. So it all worked out well. He checked out extremely well with his previous staff, with his high school staff. And after you get to know him, you'll understand that he's going to fit in extremely well here. He's a very serious-minded student and loves to play football. Yeah, Terrius's athletic ability he's got so much upside as well. We have to develop him, but I think we're at a point in our offensive line roster and depth chart where we have some time to develop him. My main concern was offensive center. Tyler was our backup offensive center this year, and he started at right guard for us. So we were a little bit thin. Hayden, who was a freshman All-American in one release, had a tremendous year, but at some point we need to develop some more centers within our offense. And he's athletic, he's big, and he's strong. I think we can do a lot more with his body type. The one thing that you'll notice out here, we just had him out here at camp. He looks like a defensive lineman when he runs through some of the defensive line drills, but he carries himself like an offensive lineman. He's a pretty thick dude. We usually do, and that's where this Georgia Tech game will help us out. We still do a lot of recruiting in the Atlanta area. Most of these guys that are from Georgia are from that Atlanta area, so you'll have a pretty good idea of kids that will be interested just to be able to play in Atlanta or just to be able to come out and see a Division I game as well. So the Alabama game certainly helped out. I think it'll continue to help us out throughout. But really, these guys, we've been on for so much longer than that. The nice part about, like I said, these guys is they've been with us for a long time. They know what the Citadel is all about. And it's not going to just be one game that's going to, put them over the edge. They've done their work.
What's involved in recruiting a guy who lives 8,000 miles away?
Well, first of all, the time difference is very difficult. Mostly everything was done through email. Coach Yielding took that one over. Coach Yielding has been the main contact on that one. He did a great job of being able to communicate through email. And they had come out here and they made a West Coast to East Coast swing through it, and they'd spent almost, I want to say, 3, maybe 4 weeks out in the United States and just touring through different schools. And it was an opportunity for me to just be able to get a guy that's maybe a little bit different out there, a guy that we can do some things with. Nobody really knows about him, but I think his upside was tremendous, the way that he can move his feet and also the ability to be able to put weight on him. I think his best football is ahead of him. All right. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. See you in a month and a half.